10 bizarre facts about lucid dreaming that will blow your mind. Picture this. There's a hidden world you can visit every single night. A world where you can fly without wings, have a heart-to-heart with characters from your favorite books, and practice any skill until you're a master, all while you're fast asleep. This isn't just a fantasy, it's the very real experience of lucid dreamers, people who wake up inside their dreams and take control. Today, we're counting down the 10 most bizarre facts about lucid dreaming that will have you questioning the very nature of reality. So what is lucid dreaming? It's that wild moment when you're in the middle of a dream and suddenly realize, hey, I'm dreaming. For some, it happens by accident, but for many others, it's a skill you can actually learn. When you go lucid, you're basically unlocking the ultimate VR simulator, your own mind. The stories and science behind this state are so mind-bending they challenge everything we think we know about consciousness and the brain. We've looked at the research and the wild accounts to bring you the 10 strangest truths about this incredible phenomenon. Section 1. You can fly, shapeshift, and build impossible worlds. Let's kick things off with the most famous superpower of lucid dreaming, telling gravity to take a hike. One of the first things almost everyone wants to do when they realize they're dreaming is to fly. And according to countless dreamers, the feeling is unbelievably real. They talk about the wind rushing past their face as they soar over sprawling cities they've built themselves or glide through bizarre alien landscapes. But flying is just the beginning. In a lucid dream, the laws of physics are more like friendly suggestions. Dreamers say they've walked straight through walls, breathed underwater without a problem, and explored the rings of Saturn in their pajamas. The experience is often described as hyper-real, with some people swearing the colors are brighter and the details are sharper than anything they see in waking life. This isn't just about sightseeing either. Some lucid dreamers become architects of their own subconscious, building insane cities with impossible shapes or peaceful forests that exist just for them. One dreamer even talked about creating a library that stretched on forever, where every single book contained a memory from their own mind. It's a level of creativity and self-expression that has no limits, a personal sandbox where the only rule is your own imagination. Section 2. You can have conversations with fictional characters and deceased loved ones. Imagine you could sit down for a chat with a character from your favorite show, or get life advice from a historical figure you've always looked up to. In the world of lucid dreaming, that's totally on the table. Dreamers have shared stories about getting songwriting tips from John Lennon, debating philosophy with Socrates, or even training with their favorite superheroes. What's really weird is that these dream characters, which are basically projections of your own subconscious, can be shockingly smart and independent. They can hit you with a witty comeback, drop some profound wisdom, or have an emotional reaction you definitely didn't see coming. One writer described getting over writer's block after a dream character from their novel literally told them what should happen next in the plot. On a deeper level, many people report having incredibly emotional reunions with friends or family members who have passed away. These dream encounters can bring a powerful sense of comfort, closure, or a final goodbye they never got in real life. While you could say these are just constructs of memory and hope, for the dreamer, the emotional release is profoundly real. Whether you see it as a spiritual chat or a form of self-therapy, it's a uniquely personal and often life-changing experience. Section 3. You can experience superhuman senses and overwhelming emotions. In our daily lives, the world comes to us through 5 senses. But in a lucid dream, those senses can be cranked up to 11, or even show up in ways that are physically impossible. Dreamers don't just see a pretty landscape, they see it with a clarity so intense it can make the real world seem a little dull by comparison. Taste, touch, and smell can also feel ridiculously real. Imagine tasting a fruit that doesn't exist with a flavor more delicious than anything you've ever eaten, or feeling the scaly texture of a dragon you're riding through the clouds. These sensations are all generated by your brain, but they can feel just as real as touching something solid. Some dreamers even have synesthetic experiences, like being able to taste a color or hear a texture, mashing up the senses in ways that just don't happen in reality. Emotions get a massive boost too. The joy of flying can turn into pure, unfiltered ecstasy. The fear in a nightmare can be an all-consuming terror. But since you know you're dreaming, you have a front row seat to explore these intense feelings from a place of safety. The dream world becomes your own personal emotional gym, where you can experience the full spectrum of what it means to be human without any of the real-world consequences. Section 4. You can confront and transform your nightmares. You know that classic nightmare. You're being chased by some terrifying monster and you feel like you're running through mud. In a normal dream, you're helpless. But in a lucid dream, you get to flip the script. The second you realize this is a dream, you gain the power to face whatever is scaring you. This is one of the most powerful uses for lucid dreaming. Instead of running from the monster, a lucid dreamer can just stop, turn around, and ask it what it wants. The stories people tell are incredible. One person being chased by a tiger became lucid, stood their ground, and asked it what its problem was. The tiger then transformed into their father, and they had a conversation that helped them work through a real-life issue. Confronting your fears like this can have a huge impact. Dreamers have turned scary figures into harmless cartoons, made friends with their sleep paralysis demons, or just flat out asked the nightmare, "What do you represent?" The answers that bubble up can be shockingly insightful, pointing to a hidden anxiety or an old problem that's been bugging them. This doesn't just end a bad dream, it can give you a lasting sense of confidence that sticks with you when you wake up, helping you build resilience against your deepest fears. Section 5. Lucid dreaming can be learned and systematically trained. While some people just naturally have lucid dreams, for most of us, it's a skill that has to be built. And maybe the most empowering fact is that pretty much anyone can learn to do it with a little practice. Over the years, a whole community of dream researchers and enthusiasts have figured out techniques that seriously up your chances of waking up in a dream. One of the most popular tricks is called reality testing. It's simple. You get into the habit of asking yourself, "Am I dreaming?" throughout the day. Then you do a little test. Try to push your finger through the palm of your other hand, or look at a clock, look away, and then look back. In real life, your hand will stop your finger and the time will be normal. But in a dream, your finger might just pass right through your palm, and text or numbers will usually look weird or change every time you look. If you make this a regular habit, you'll eventually do it in a dream and boom, you're lucid. Other methods include keeping a dream journal to get better at remembering your dreams and spotting your own weird dream patterns. There's also the mild technique where you repeat to yourself as you fall asleep, "Tonight I will realize I'm dreaming." It takes some patience, but the fact that this incredible state of mind is something you can actually train yourself to enter is just amazing. If you're finding this stuff as fascinating as we do and want to explore more mysteries of the mind, do us a huge favor and hit that like button. And if you're not already, subscribe and ring that notification bell so you don't miss our next video. It really helps us keep making content that stretches our reality. Alright, back to it, because things are about to get even weirder. Section 6. Control over the dream is not always guaranteed. You'd think that going lucid means you're suddenly a god of your own inner world, right? While that can happen, many seasoned lucid dreamers talk about a strange thing they call dream resistance. This is when the dream, or the characters in it, seem to push back when you try to change things. For example, you might try to conjure up a sports car, but instead a beat-up bicycle appears. Or you try to switch the scene from a spooky forest to a sunny beach, only for the forest to get even darker. In some of the wildest stories, dream characters will straight up argue with the dreamer, flat out refusing to admit they're in a dream. One person said they told a dream character, "This is my dream, get out," and the character shot back, "I have every right to be here, you'll just have to deal with it." So what's going on? Some think this resistance is just a reflection of your own subconscious doubts. If you don't fully believe you can fly, you might find yourself stuck on the ground. Others think the brain is trying to keep the dream simulation believable. Whatever the reason, it adds a fascinating wrinkle. It means being lucid isn't always about total domination, but more like a negotiation, a dance, with the deepest parts of your own mind. Section 7. Lucid dreaming can directly improve waking life skills. This next one really blurs the line between the dream world and real life. It turns out that practicing a skill in a lucid dream might actually give you a real edge when you're awake. This isn't just wishful thinking, it's connected to the science of neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to rewire itself through experience. Some studies have shown that when you do something in a lucid dream, like playing a song on the piano or practicing your golf swing, the same parts of your brain light up as when you're doing it for real. Your brain doesn't always draw a hard line between a vividly imagined action and a real one. One lucid dreamer who was terrified of driving practiced getting in a car and cruising around her dream city. The experience felt so real that it helped her build the confidence she needed to overcome her fear in the real world. Athletes have used visualization for years, but this takes it to a whole other level. It's not just for physical skills either. People have used lucid dreams to rehearse a big speech for a dream audience, practice a difficult conversation, or brainstorm solutions to tricky problems. This suggests our sleep doesn't have to just be downtime. It can be an active training ground where you can rehearse for your life and literally wake up better. Section 8. Time can stretch, collapse, or bend in unimaginable ways. In the real world, time marches forward at a steady beat. But in the dream world, time is like putty. Lucid dreamers constantly report that their sense of time gets completely warped, leading to some of the most reality-bending experiences you can imagine. Many dreamers talk about having these epic adventures that felt like they lasted for days, or even weeks, only to wake up and see that just a few minutes have passed on the clock. Your brain can apparently generate a massive amount of perceived experience in a very short amount of actual time. This time dilation allows for incredibly detailed stories to unfold in a single sleep cycle. The opposite can also happen, with time jumping forward in weird ways. But maybe the most mind-blowing accounts are from people who claim to have lived entire alternate lives in a single night. They report being born, growing up, starting a family, and growing old in a different reality, complete with a full set of memories from that dream life. Waking up from that can be incredibly jarring, leaving you with the emotional baggage of a life you never actually lived. It really makes you wonder if our straight-line perception of time is just a rule for our waking minds. Section 9. You can get trapped in dreams within dreams. The movie Inception made the idea of a dream within a dream famous, but it's not just Hollywood fantasy. It's a real and often confusing thing called a false awakening. This is when you dream that you've woken up. Your dream will create a perfect copy of your bedroom, tricking you into thinking the weird dream you were just having is over. You might dream of getting out of bed, brushing your teeth, and starting your morning routine, feeling relieved that you're back in reality. You only realize you're still dreaming when something is off. The light switch doesn't work, or the words in a book are just gibberish. That jolt of realization is often a great way to trigger lucidity. But sometimes it can lead to a bizarre loop. A dreamer might realize they're dreaming, get too excited, and wake up, only to find themselves right back in their bed, still in another dream. This can happen over and over, creating a nested reality that can feel like a trap. Some people report feeling a sense of panic as they try to claw their way back to actual physical reality. These Inception-style moments show just how good the brain is at faking it, building layers of illusion that can make you seriously question which reality is the real one. Section 10. Dream characters can have minds of their own, and some people report shared dreams. This is where we get to the absolute edge of what we know about consciousness. While most dream characters are just puppets, some lucid dreamers run into figures that seem to have a mind of their own. These characters can tell the dreamer things they're sure they don't know, or challenge their control in a way that feels shockingly real. In one study, a dreamer asked a character a math problem, gave his own answer, and the character corrected him. And the character was right. It's almost like you're tapping into a hidden, wiser part of your own subconscious. But the most bizarre and controversial claim of all is the idea of shared dreaming, where two or more people meet up in the same dream and remember the same things when they wake up. Now, to be crystal clear, there is currently no scientific evidence to prove this is real. Most scientists believe these stories can be explained by coincidence, suggestion, or our brains just filling in the gaps. And yet, the stories persist. You'll find them all over online forums. Two friends who decide to meet at a specific place in their dreams and wake up describing the same weird landscape or conversation. It raises a wild question. Is it possible that consciousness isn't just locked inside our own heads? We don't have the answers, but the fact that people keep having these experiences is a testament to the profound and enduring mystery of the dreaming mind. From flying over impossible cities to getting advice from historical figures, confronting our deepest fears, and even honing our real-world skills, lucid dreaming is a universe of potential packed inside our own minds. These experiences are more than just weird stories. They're a powerful reminder of how little we actually understand about consciousness. They show us that the reality we see every day is just one version of what our brains are capable of creating. These 10 facts are just a peek into this incredible inner world. They prove our minds are so much more powerful and mysterious than we give them credit for. It means every single one of us has access to the most advanced virtual reality simulator ever made, and it's waiting for us every single night. So I have to ask, which of these facts blew your mind the most? And if you could control your dreams tonight, what's the first thing you would do? Let us know in the comments below. Thanks for watching and sweet dreams.